Howdy pards, Mr. Holster here, just making this quick little video to talk about Larry Vickers' new trigger for for Glocks, a flat face polymer trigger. And yeah, it's made out of the same material as the regular Glock is, and I was looking at this ad for it. Not that I really have any interest in putting an aftermarket trigger in my Glock. I know a lot of people do that kind of thing, but I'm usually trying to make the trigger pull harder, not easier. So it's not anything I've really ever looked at. But here, I want to read you part of the sales pitch of this trigger because I found it funny. And somebody else found it funny too, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let me read it to you. The VTCT, and that's the Vickers Tactical Carry Trigger. That's what it is. The Vickers Tactical Carry Trigger is made from the same material as the OEM trigger, so there isn't the risk of wear, damage to the frame. The trigger is an insulator, not a heat conductor, and will not get hot while spending the day at the range. And I saw that, and all that comes into my mind right now when you start talking about conducting things in the range is, yeah, the electric fence. I wasn't planning on tying it to the trigger of my gun. But you know, the only guns I have that have polymer triggers are Glocks. Everything else has got a metal trigger, including my wife's SIG. Yeah, it's a polymer gun, but it's got a metal trigger, you see. But I've been down to gun site numerous times, and you're out in the sun a lot down there when you train, and you do nothing but shoot all day long, and I can never remember the trigger getting hot and it annoying me. Maybe it does, I don't know, but honestly, I've been down there a lot and done that a lot, and I can never remember a trigger annoying me while I was shooting. A lot of things were annoying me, but usually it was my screw-ups that were annoying me, not the heat from the trigger. But, so you go down to the bottom, and like all things on the internet, we got to let everybody out of nowhere have their piece of the action and say whatever they want. So this is what this gentleman says here. Posts down on the bottom. His name is, he goes by P.T. McCain. And he says, the trigger is an insulator, not a heat conductor, and will not get hot while spending the day on the range. What? Seriously? Was this ever a real issue for anyone? Well, it's kind of what I was thinking too. He says, nice to have another option, but come on, the marketing BS with every new product is just getting ridiculous. That's kind of what I was, yeah. But you go further down here, and Larry Vickers responded to that, and he said, the trigger was initially requested at the request of a federal law enforcement unit, and one of their concerns was heat from the aluminum aftermarket triggers they were currently using on their Glocks. So no, this isn't marketing hype. Well, there you go. And I started thinking about it, and I go, boy, federal law enforcement agencies must have gotten a little soft, because I can't remember back in the old days them being that big a bunch of pussies. But then I realized that the FBI, yeah, they've just adopted the Glocks. So that pretty much explains it. From what I've seen the last couple of weeks, I have to assume that FBI agents have been shooting these Glocks with the aluminum triggers and going, oh my gosh, that trigger's just so hot, I can't stand it. Look what it's doing to my hand. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be embarrassed when I shake the hand of Hillary. I know, it was a bad imitation of it. I was trying to do Jimmy. Jack says I'm really bad at it. Well, there you go. And before I leave you, an apology, because there are a lot of people at the FBI that aren't playing political games and taking our country and flushing it down the toilet. Yeah, unfortunately, you don't see any of them, do you? No, they just keep parading these milquetoasts in front of us that, yeah, should be ashamed of themselves, says I. Well, there you go, guys. That only took 4 minutes and 31 seconds of your life listening to that thing about Larry Vickers' new tactical trigger, and I'll put a link to this article in soldiersystems.net. You might want to check it out, because if you like replacing your trigger, this actually looks pretty nice. Yeah. Well, there you go. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, for Mr. Holster and Jack, go out and stay safe. Yeah, that's 5 minutes of your life you'll never, ever, ever get back again.